Have you ever seen a glitch-like mistake in a show? Sometimes it's hard to believe that one of your favorite TV series could have actually made several small mistakes. See what Liv and Maddie mistakes shocked you most, especially number 1 about which twin is older. If this is your first time visiting The Things, don't forget to subscribe and please give this video a big thumbs up. Here are 10 mistakes in Liv and Maddie you might have missed. Maddie can sing? Aside from their appearance, Liv and Maddie are very different characters. Though their eyesight and voice are some of the most noticeable ways in which they differ, another aspect is their unique talents. For example, while Liv is a talented singer, Maddie can barely screech out a note. This is made very clear to the audience in Season 1 during the Switcheroony episode. To refresh your memory, Liv and Maddie decide to pretend to be one another for a day. They decide to do this so that Liv can land a role as Tristan that she believes will be the next best step for her acting and singing career. Unfortunately, she knows very little about space werewolves, while Maddie is a mega fan. The girls take advantage of being identical twins, and Maddie agrees to stand in for Liv during the Sing It Loud DVD signing. After stumbling on stage as a result of her poor eyesight, Maddie thanks everyone for their attendance in song, or at least it was meant to be in song, but comes out as a terrible screech that definitely throws off her fans. Though this establishes that Maddie can't carry a tune, she miraculously chimes in with Liv when she performs Count Me In the Song-a-Rooney episode. Tarantulas. In Team Rooney, the episode begins when Parker takes home his class pets, a group of 6 tarantulas. However, a problem quickly arises when Parker introduces Joey to only 1 tarantula. Parker states that he lost the other 5. They find one crawling across the table and trap it under a bowl. The boys understandably want to try to find the missing 4 tarantulas without their mother finding out. Parker and Joey spend the rest of the episode trying to track down the missing class pets. They manage to find one crawling across a member of the basketball team while she's fast asleep at the team sleepover. The rest remain unseen and apparently multiplied during their disappearance. When they finally do break the news to Karen, she takes it pretty well. She comments that now that she knows, it almost feels like spiders are crawling all over her. Spoiler alert, they are! The weird thing is that there are at least 4 and maybe even a 5th spider clinging to her sweater. People must need some math tutoring because last time we counted, 3 tarantulas were back in Parker's captivity, so there should only be 3 loose, not 4, and certainly not 5. Return of the artichoke ornament. Raider Rooney takes place on Pete's birthday. As such, he declares that for his birthday, he wants -5 things. This means that he gets to get rid of 5 things in the house that Karen bought, but he considers to be clutter. He relishes the moment he gets to do away with the artichoke candle holder. Karen protests, but ends up giving in, nostalgically remembering how she bought it for Parker after he tried artichokes for the first time. Karen takes the loss, but we can tell that it pains her to part with an ornament that has emotional significance for her. It is strange that this point is made in the episode, yet the artichoke candle holder makes a comeback several times. For example, in Grandma Rooney, while Maddie is desperately trying to attain her grandmother's approval, Parker comes downstairs dressed as a baby. Parker is trying to reclaim his role as the adorable baby in order to receive his usual $20 gift from his nana. As he walks down the stairs, we can clearly see that the artichoke candle holder is back on a side table. Somehow, it has made its way into the house and no one addresses its return. Fake dreams and imagined dresses. In Cowbell Rooney, we spotted not 1, but 2 mistakes. Let's start with a side issue that caught our eye. This mistake occurs in the school hallways when Liv is explaining to her Voltage co-star Josh about Cowbell Week. Liv excitedly introduces him to the rules involved in Cowbell Week at Ridgewood High. As she's finishing her explanation and Josh is already beginning to strategize his cowbell moves, Willow comes around the corner and stops Mackenzie in her tracks. She provides a perfect introduction to the trickery involved in cowbelling someone as she shouts out to Mackenzie, complimenting her dress. She claims her dress matches the cowbell she continues to hang around Mackenzie's neck. The problem? Mackenzie is very clearly wearing a top and skirt and not a dress. More related to the episode at the end of the episode, while Maddie is enjoying her victory as the 3-time champion of Cowbell Week, she points to one of the girls, a fellow student, and gloats that she cowbelled her in her sleep. This is not true, however, as that same girl is the first victim to Maddie's cowbelling talent. What a strange mistake to make. Fortunately for Maddie, it doesn't undermine her rule as milkmaid. Exes can't be friends. By the 4th season of Liv and Maddie, it's only natural that some of the relationships between the characters get a little blurry, and it's much easier to lose track of the character's history. However, it seems very unlikely that anyone, let alone the show's producers, would forget about the relationship between Maddie and Diggie. According to Exa Rooney, some of the details regarding how Maddie and Diggie handled their breakup were forgotten. This episode begins with Joey and Josh rehearsing for their action movie while Maddie is at practice. When she comes home early, it's Joey who is the most awkward about the former couple coming face to face. Maddie is relatively cool about it, and Josh goes as far as inviting Maddie to join him and Joey for lunch. The next time we see them, they are enjoying their meal that involves a chip pyramid, and Maddie says she's surprisingly glad she came for lunch. Who says exes can't be friends? Maddie should not be so surprised, as this has already happened with Diggie. Further, what would give Joey any reason to feel that it would be weird when it's worked out in the past? Liv's hair. In season 1 and 2 of Liv and Maddie, Liv sports the same hairstyle. Her wavy, mid-length hair is cut in layers that frame her face. In contrast, Maddie keeps her hair pulled back in a low ponytail. The first episode of season 3 is called Continue a Rooney. The title is self-explanatory, as season 2's last episode, Rate a Rooney, ends in a cliffhanger. This is a usual and common strategy to keep viewers eagerly awaiting the next season of a series. In this case, however, the follow-up episode demonstrated a slight lack in awareness. Liv looks different as she greets Maddie when she enters the house. In a side-by-side frame, our suspicions are confirmed as it becomes clear that Liv's hair has changed just enough to alter her look. This episode, though, was supposed to take place immediately after the last episode of the previous season. How then, we ask you, did Liv get a chance to revamp her hair? Though it's a small detail that audiences would happily overlook for the return of the show, it's a noticeable continuity mistake. Liv's extra hair length is just enough to throw the continuation of the previous episode off and breaks the fourth wall for viewers. It reminds us that the show has been fabricated for us with a break between seasons. Disillusion. Acting an opposite yourself, we would imagine, can get pretty complicated, and Dove Cameron does a pretty great job as both Liv and Maddie. In order to be able to pull off the illusion of having both Maddie and Liv on screen, each character needs to remain on their side of the screen. If they fail to do this, then we see parts of them disappear. This is the mistake in the episode Callie Christmas a Rooney. The first incident in this episode occurs early on when Maddie laments having to spend Christmas in LA instead of in Wisconsin. In an attempt to cheer her up, Liv points out the festive lighting of the Christmas palm tree. It's at this moment, when she turns around to catch Maddie's reaction, that the corner of her green purse disappears. It's only for a second, but looks like a total glitch if you catch it. Dove was standing slightly too close to her mark, and it resulted in a pretty trippy image. You can tell that Liv is conscious of where she's meant to stand as she looks down and realizes her leg is over the line after hugging Joey. We see what you did there. Keeping up appearances definitely isn't as easy as it looks. Facegab call. Move a Rooney is an unforgettable episode since, as Liv says, it marks the birth of Miggy. It's been a long time coming, and Liv speaks for all of us as she comments on the symbolism of Diggie lending Liv his Letterman jacket. Meanwhile, Maddie is stuck trying to interpret the most mundane moments they share down to every sup they exchange. At the same time, Karen is obsessing over other words as she learns that app is not APP. Karen's familiarization with her new iPhone offsets some of the intensity of waiting anxiously to see if Maddie and Diggie will come clean about how they feel about one another. However, amidst the excitement is a pretty obvious mistake that we're sure you would pick up on if you were watching the episode closely. Parker shows Karen how to use the video chat app, Facegab, while Karen and Parker give the app a try in a video chat with Liv. Parker notices Liv as his snow cone maker. Liv plays confused and ends the call. The mistake is that the call is ended by Liv pressing the speaker as her finger goes nowhere near the disconnect button. Maybe Karen isn't the only one in need of a tech lesson. Maddie and Liv's age. In the very first episode, within the first 2 minutes, the audience is introduced to our twin protagonists, Liv and Maddie. We first meet Liv as she is entering her house and being reunited with her family after having filmed 4 seasons of her TV show. Sing It Loud. The first person she embraces is her twin, Maddie, whom she accuses of stealing her face. This is the moment we learn that Maddie is the older twin, as her comeback is, I had it first. However, only 8 episodes later, in Sweet 16 a Rooney, Karen and Pete reveal that Maddie and and Liv were actually born on 2 separate days. Although this may be a potential solution for the girls who can't agree on how to celebrate their birthday, it nonetheless shocks them to find out that Liv was born on the 5th at 11:56 p.m., while Maddie was born on the 6th at 12:02 a.m. Pete and Karen do a pretty good job of justifying their decision of keeping this secret for the rest of the episode. The mistake is that the entire episode relies on the premise that Liv was born before Maddie, a complete contradiction to the information we were given in the first episode when the twins reunite. And that's all for the 10 mistakes in Liv and Maddie you might have missed. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to The Things to catch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.